The Tenju children are the goblin children in Japan. You can tell them by their very long noses. Well, they had a magic fan, and when they used the magic fan in one direction, it made their noses longer still. And when they turned the fan to the other side, it made their noses short. Long and short, short and long. Oh, they were having so much fun. Well, a badger came along and said,
I love that fan.
well, the badgers in Japan can turn themselves into anything they want. So he turned himself into a little girl, and he took a plate of bean jam buns to the Tenju children and said,
Oh, my Tenju children, I got some bean jam buns for you.
well, there was 4 bean jam buns and 3 Tenju children, so of course they argued over the last one.
Me.
But the badger said,
Me. Stop. I need it. But what's the best one? Just close the eyes. It's the last bean jam bun.
so they closed their eyes and held their breath, and the fan fell. The badger took it and ran off. The Tenju children saw the fan gone, and they went to look for him. The badger turned himself back into a badger. And over in a palace, there was a beautiful daughter. She lived in a very rich man's palace. And the badger came along and said,
I'm gonna have some fun.
so he tiptoed behind her, and he waved the magic fan, and her nose grew long. What a fright! She started to cry. Well, her father came along. He saw her, and he pounded his fist. And then he yelled.
Ah!
Santa. So he said,
Meet the doctors of Japan. The doctors of long can you fix her? You don't fix her. No, sea urchins. No, cabbages. Cabbages here.
so the first doctor gave her thistledown, and that made her throat tickly. And the next doctor gave her sea urchins, and that made her throat prickly. And the last doctor gave her cabbages, but her nose stayed long. So the father said,
Feed you with cabbages.
and he chased them all away.
We need a wizard on it. The doctors of long can you fix her? Sprinkle her nose with pepper and go sneak it off. Sprinkle away.
So she sprinkled her nose with pepper, and the daughter went,
Achoo.
but that didn't help. So the father said,
Oh, sprinkle you with pepper. Achoo. Show me the pictures of Japan. The doctors of long can you fix her? Hey, come on. No, about. Those are prettier. I'll tie you back.
and chased them all away. Well, he was so frustrated, he finally said,
I'll give past my fortune away if someone can fix my girl's nose. I fix noses. Away.
so he used the magic fan, and her nose went back to normal. Oh, they were so happy. They had a big feast. They ate and they ate. The father and daughter went back into the palace, but that badger, he just kept eating and eating. He ate so much he fell asleep, and he started to snore. Well, the Tenju children had been looking for the magic fan. They heard the snoring, and so they picked up the magic fan. They picked up the magic fan, and they fanned the badger's nose. It grew so long, it went up through the roof. It went up into heaven. There was heavenly workers up in heaven. They were building a bridge, and one of them said,
Look, there's a pool.
and the other one said,
Let's hoist it up.
so they hoisted up the badger's nose, thinking it was a pole. They hoisted it up into heaven, and the badger said, all the way up to heaven, never to be seen again. The end.
Nice, pretty.